What's up guys, Mr. SLIN here, and I'm so excited to bring you this video today because I'm going to be playing 6v6 TF2. I haven't played 6v6 since I played in Div 1, which put us as a top 10 team in North America at the time, which was like 6 months ago, and I play as a medic main for those of you guys who don't know. So yeah, it's been some time, and in the meantime I've been playing some casual TF2 and some Counter-Strike and some random games, but I figured why not play some 6v6 like the good old days. So I hopped into my chat and I was like, hey guys, where do I go to play? And they said Ice Cream Pugs. So if you're interested in Ice Cream Pugs, I'll put a link to their Discord channel in the video description in case you're interested in going over there to play. It's like an in-house pug group. Basically, they pick teams and I got picked on Scout. And then a funny story here about the map selection. The captains will decide which map you're going to play on, and they picked CP Reckoner, which is this really obscure map that no one really wants to play. And both teams are like, we don't want to play Reckoner for some reason. Why did you pick Reckoner? And then they're like, hey, SLIN, you haven't played in a long time. What map would you want to play? And I was like, And I was like, well, one of my favorite maps is Granary, so I'm going to choose Granary. And I didn't think they would take me seriously, but they actually switched the map to Granary. So it's like a big throwback pug here because you typically don't see a lot of people playing Granary these days. And as you'll see, my team doesn't really know the rollout or the call outs some of the time. So kind of funny, but let's hop into the game here. I'm going to give you some commentary and just talk you through what I think about when I'm playing. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in watching the live stream, twitch.tv/MrSLIN is where you'll find me. All right, so here we are on Granary. Let me hit the play button. And what we decide is we're going to go for a left-sided rollout, and it's kind of weird because you typically do a right-sided rollout. So you'll see that on the other mids. I'm going to be playing Pocket Scout, and on the mid fight, my general strategy is that I'm going to look up into the sky, and I'm going to look for any soldiers that are bombing my medic. And typically, they're going straight for your medic, so you can just get some easy shots in the back. You'll see the soldiers in the sky here. Again, easy shots in the back. And there's a second soldier. Boom, boom. They're not even shooting at you. So it's just like, hit your shots. You know what I mean? Hit your shots. Make sure your medic stays alive. And then I'm on to the scout. And couldn't save my demo man there, but we got the 3K on the mid. I'm pretty stoked about that. And we wiped the enemy team. So really good first mid to start things off. And we're going to go on to the next point. I don't think we did it super optimally here because typically in the situation, you're going to want to like half cap middle and then send one of your scouts to the next point. So we could have been a little bit more optimal there in like leaving one scout to cap and then pushing forward, but it's close enough. In this situation here, I want to point out that their medic is still dead from the mid fight. So we're going to have full Uber advantage. Now in a full Uber advantage situation, what you want to be doing is capping the point, waiting for your teammates to arrive, and then doing a 6 versus 6 like full push with Uber advantage. And you should pretty much win that last fight every single time with full Uber advantage. And what you're about to see is my team's going to screw up here and do like commit a cardinal sin basically, which is that when you're in this situation, the only thing you need to not do is feed. That's the only thing you need to not do. And watch my scout just climb up onto the rafters there, go into the upper lobby, and he just dies for like no reason. There's no reason to do that. It doesn't get you anything. Like even if you get a kill here, it shouldn't matter because you should win 6 versus 6 anyways with full Uber advantage, right? So there's no reason to feed. And then you'll see that my soldier, I don't know why he does it too. He goes in and follows him and also feeds. So now we got 2 feeders. So we turned a situation where it should have been like an easy last push into like, now it's 4 versus 6. So actually the red team should push us into second point. You'll notice that they don't do that, but we're basically setting up for a second hold while we wait for our respawners. And don't worry, there's plenty of time to wait for the respawners because it takes about 55 seconds for the enemy team to build an Uber, whereas it takes like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds for my teammates to respawn. So not ideal, but not the end of the world. We still have like extra 30 seconds of buffer in there to do this push. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold this point, wait for the respawners, and then do a last push. But as you'll see, we're kind of chilling, and my medic is not in the perfect position. You'll see the soldier kind of like goes for like some spam from upper. He actually jumps in on the medic, and he does get the force. So at this point, we're just like, screw it. We'll just shove it into last point. And the demo man is actually very overextended right here, so he's an easy catch for my team. We get on the demo man, and once the demo man's dead, it should, you know, that's an easy way to clean the round. So first round on the board for us.
5 kills, 0 deaths, let's go, boys.
Yeah, 5 kills, 0 deaths, let's go. So not super clean, but like you know, for the first round, yeah, that's a good way to start it, you know? We wipe them on mid, and then shove it into last point. Good round. So, on this mid, I tell the team, hey guys, don't go left. Let's do a right-sided mid. And on the right-sided mids, you're going to want to go up into the catwalk onto the high ground where it's easier for you to shoot those soldiers out of the sky. Sticky comes in, soldier jumps over my head, and I kind of lose track of him. So he actually does get onto my medic and kill my medic. And so the only thing I need to do in that situation, when the soldier does successfully kill your medic, then you just run in and kill their medic too. So we kill their medic. It's basically 3 versus 3, and then it's just a DM to see who's going to win this mid. I start shooting people, but, you know, I don't really have any heals. Go for the demo man. He does have a sticky or a rocket on me or something like that, and then, okay, I killed the demo man, but just trading people out. Looks like the red team is going to win middle after all. So on the respawn here, we know since both medics died, it's going to be basically an even uber fight. So we should be able to just retake yard. So we're just checking to see if there's no trap there, and then taking yard back. And now we're just going to go into like a standard hold where it's even ubers, but we do get a pick onto a scout. So this is a cue to push 6 versus 5 dry. Another soldier goes down too, so it should be a 6 versus 4. We really need to get aggressive. So even though I have 70 health, I'm gonna go extra aggressive here. Even though I like typically in the situation you want to like get really healthy and then you want to go for a push, but since I know it's 6 versus 4, I'm going to keep the pressure on the enemy team and push with 70 health. So I'm in one-shot territory, but it's worth it to keep the pressure on. And I'm going to get heals later on too. So you'll see that I'm making space, but I'm not getting too aggressive where I'm at risk of getting spammed. I'm just kind of like moving forward. And okay, I could have grabbed the health pack there. I decided not to because I heard some people behind or something like that. Soldier comes in, I shoot him. And then we do have mid control, even though we're down a player. We should be able to cap this. I say watch out they have Uber soon because I believe they might have slight Uber advantage because I haven't really been playing that close to my medic. So it's possible that they have a slight Uber advantage on top of us. And we're also down a player, but the medic dies for the enemy team. That's critical. So now we have Uber advantage, right? And I know that my medic was at like 80% Uber or so. So it's really, really important that my medic doesn't die in the next like 10 seconds while he gets Uber. So it's way like, I know it's looking like we're capping the middle point and we should probably finish the cap, but it's actually a better strategy to just leave middle, keep your medic alive with the Uber, and then bring the Uber back in and take the point back. So I actually regroup with my medic like immediately and tell him, hey, get back up, because we just need to get the Uber. They jump on my domain, we get that kill there onto the scout and we get that kill too. So both scouts die because you know, when their medic dies, they're just going to go sacrifice for your medic. That's why we backed up. So that's a really great job by our medic to back up, stay alive, and have that Uber advantage. And then I make a mistake. I eat a little bit too much damage here and die, which is a really unfortunate time to be dying. What I would have liked to happen, obviously, is I don't die to those pipes, and then I can just rebuff with my medic and then kill the demo man, and now we have full Uber advantage pushing forth. But in this situation, took some bad damage. Yeah, that was just not the best situation for us. I would have liked to have stayed alive, not use that Uber, but you'll see we end up using the Uber there. I'm going to fast forward a little bit later into the round. So now we're back on the second point and it's going to be even Ubers. And I just wanted to show you this fight because how you take an even Uber fight. So when they take their Uber in, they're going to try and force your medic and then get you to flash your Uber. Flashing the Uber reduces the length of time that the Uber has. So my job here is to stay out of the Uber, actually. Wait for the Ubers to fade, and then I'm going to come in and help do some cleanup damage. So you'll see, as the enemy Uber is in front of us, I back off, we use, they use. And so I know our Uber's slightly worse than theirs, so I'm just kind of like hiding back here, waiting for that soldier. He unfortunately flashes me. I'm trying to like corner the medic here and not let him out of the fight. And I miss a couple of shots, but we do get the medic down. Our medic unfortunately dies too, but we do wipe them off of that fight, and that ends up being a good fight for us. So, I like the way that I played that there at least because I made sure that their medic couldn't leave, and then I just went back, cleaned it up, and yeah. So both medics died, and we're gonna be able to get the second point here. I noticed at the top of the screen that a bunch of their players have respawned, and whenever the enemy team has control of middle point, they have forward spawns, so their spawns are going to get to middle a little bit faster than ours. And so I'm telling our scout, hey, get ready for a fight here. It should be about 3 players versus 2 because I was keeping track. And our scout gets up on the high ground, which is a really smart play because they have soldiers that respawn. So having a scout on the high ground is going to create that space that allows me to finish the cap on mid. So I'm peeking that right crack. I see that they get discouraged. They don't want to come in. So we get that cap down. And now our demo man's in the fight. So since I know that both medics died and the Ubers are even, a lot of teams will make a mistake of like doing just like a dry push here. And you could do a dry push if you're like significantly better than the enemy team. But the safe conservative thing to do is to actually build an Uber. So I'm just going to sit back. And when you build Uber, there's no reason to get close to the enemy team. Like, they've already shown that they're not going to do a push, so I don't need to hold up against the choke points. I can just hold back here, super far back, make sure my medic has like no chance of dying or any random spam coming in, right? So I'm just going to sit back here, build up that Uber, and my team tells me, hey, like we can go up to the doors. So it's like 65%. We're probably like 15 seconds, 20 seconds away from getting it, but they want to push up to the doors, so that's fine. So I say, everyone go get buffs. And we're getting 80%, so we're now about 10 seconds away from Uber. And a scout pushes our demo man very aggressively, a little bit overextended, and we get that pick. So now it's 6 versus 5. We should definitely go for a push. So I peek the left yard, and I kill a soldier here, so now it's 6 versus 4. So 6 versus 4, you should definitely go in on their team. I have two choices in this exact moment. I could go for a back cap. I can walk through that doorway right next to my face here. I could walk through that doorway, go for a back cap. Or I could sandwich the enemy medic and try and get a kill there. And I go for the sandwich play. In hindsight, I probably should have gone for the back cap because the Ubers were even. And so I should have known that, like, remember when the Ubers are even, you don't want to be in the Uber. So if I'm not going to be in the Uber, I might as well be capping the second point. So I should have done that in hindsight, but I decided to go a little bit greedy and help try and get some kills. So I call that I'm behind them and coming in, but the red team pulls a fast one on me. They weren't in yard like I thought. Like typically in a situation, since the red team is down 2 players, they should be backing out to last. But they instead do the opposite. They actually go for an aggressive push into middle because they have a Kritzkrieg. So they caught us by surprise. They have a Kritzkrieg shoving into middle. We pop our Uber defensively. I'm calling that I'm behind them. And this crits completely catches me by surprise because they said they're in lunchbox or something. They had like a really weird call. And it turns out, no, their combo was right in front of me with a Kritzkrieg soldier, and I'm just a sitting duck here. So again, another reason for me to be capping second point instead of trying to go and helping out. So anyways, this is a really good play that my team does here. They actually didn't pop the Uber defensively like I thought. Looks like they popped the Uber on second point, and they're going to like wipe the enemy team with this. This is going to be brilliant for us. I'm going to wait for forward spawn. So you'll see right there, I hit a bind, and that gives me forward spawn. I'll put the bind in the description, and so you have the bind. It's just like a loadout change bind. You just hit that, it'll forward spawn you. So I get to the middle. And then what I'm going to do is run up to the, oh, it looks like my medic died. So they popped Uber on second, and I guess the Uber wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Our medic dies, but we get 3 kills off of that. So we should probably push last point, right? It's going to be 5 versus 3. We got the medic as well. So it should be 4 versus 2. So we should go for this push. So I'm peeking the right door. The soldier's there. I'm going for this. I'm like, where's my teammates? And there was like, you notice like none of my teammates were in last point with me. And they had a sniper that just got a body shot on me. So I feel like I had the right idea. Like you can see, there's only 1 player alive. It's a sniper. I just shoved it into last. My teammates were just a little bit slower. My demo man, you can see, is finally getting there. It should work out anyways. It's a 3 versus 1. The soldier, he switches the soldier, comes back in. Demo man's on the point, and they get the cap. So nice play by my team there to get that. Just to take a breather. If I were to recap what happened there, there was if I go back, right, just to recap the situation, it was even Ubers on middle. We shove it into left yard, get a second pick on the soldier, and in this exact moment, I should have gone for the back cap, but the Kritzkrieg comes in, so I make kind of a blunder and I die. And then at this point in time, when I realized we have number advantage, I made the right play by shoving into last. So definitely check the numbers. If you have the numbers, you should shove in last. I still feel like I made the right play here, even though I died to the sniper. I guess I could have played a little bit slower. When I saw there was a sniper, I could have just backed off for a second, but I really thought my team was going to be shoving in a lot faster. And then my team just goes into last and gets the cap. So solid round, 2-0. And our kill death is pretty good here. It's like, it says 12 kills, 5 deaths, but I know I got some after round kills. Anyways, the last mid fight, if you recall, the soldier jumped over my head and killed my medic. So I'm going to be watching for that soldier on this third mid fight. I'm just dinging their scouts. I'm going to reload, so I make sure that I'm reloaded for the soldiers coming in. Soldiers high, scout right next to me, so I body shot him, and then I see the medic is wide open. So I just go right up and get that kill. My medic, look at him. He's just sitting back safe with the other scout. And now I know they're going to bomb our medic, so I just go for a frag here on the scout. I'm going to back up to the health pack to make sure that I live, finish off the scout, and that's a 3K for me on the third mid fight. So that's my second 3K. And I really felt like I played that mid fight very, very well. Like, I'm just going to play it back again. At this point in time, you ding the scouts a little bit, and you're not going to do a lot of damage from this range. All I'm trying to do is stop crit heals by damaging them. So I'm just going to reload those 2 shots that I shot. The soldier comes up. I wanted to go for the soldier on the right, but the scout on the right side completely surprises me to get the meat shot on him. And then when I saw the medic popped up in the air, like, I had to go for that. So that's what I would do if I were you too. And then get the medic kill. And then from there, once their medic dies, you know that the last 2 players alive are going to sacrifice for your medic. So that's why I end up dropping down and just closing in on that one scout, because there's only 2 players alive. So I'm just going to go for this dude, not let him escape. And that's the frag. So we're not going to repeat the same mistake from the first round, right? Where like we didn't do a half cap. So you do a half cap with both scouts. And then one of the scouts runs forward to the next point. I bring my medic with me. So he gets that extra move speed, and we're building Uber into the next point. Now, there are a couple respawning players, so you gotta be careful of that. And that's a mistake that a lot of newer players make. Is they just run into the next point thinking that it's free because they wiped them on mid. But remember, the scout that we killed died very, very late. So that gives the other players on the red team plenty of time to respawn and potentially put up a defense on second point. Now, the types of defenses that you need to watch out for, maybe they put a sticky trap in a sneaky corner. Maybe they have a sniper that's peeking one of the doorways. Maybe they have a soldier that's hiding in a corner somewhere, just like in the first round where they kill one of your players that way. So you need to be watching for all those things. So instead of walking too deep into the lobby, you need to just put some capture time here. And remember, we got a full Uber advantage heading to the last point. So I tell my team, hey, let's go for the last push. And so notice how we walk the medic around the outside. This is the safest way to do it. It's the best way to do it. Highly recommended to walk your medic around the outside so there's no risk of him getting forced from any sneaky business on second point. Now we go up to the high ground, and this is exactly what you're going to want to do on one of those clean 6 versus 6 full Uber advantage plays that I talked about in the first round. We're going to wait for a heavy class to get there, like a soldier or a demo man. The current meta is to take a demo man with you, but you can take a soldier too. That's totally fine. So a soldier comes up to us. Again, plenty of time. There's no way they're going to get an Uber, right? You have full Uber advantage. And now I tell them, pop the soldier first, take me second. Pop? Pop, please? Oh, geez. Okay, he pops super late, but we do get the medic before it gets into spawn. Now, demo man. Easy kill, easy life. And then I'm just reloading so I can get some cleanup frags here, put some cap time on, and that's going to be the third round. So super, super clean round, end to end. Wipe them on middle, beautifully done on the 4th point, and then take the high ground. Your medic just needs to pop on the doorway into last point. There's no reason to milk it there, and like you don't want to drop a player by accident to a sniper or a sticky trap, so you definitely just want to pop it straight on those doors. But anyways, 3-0. And into the next round, I'm going to go back to the right side. Okay, I decided to go bottom instead of catwalk. And I don't really know why I decided to do that, because the catwalk worked out for me really well last time. So I'm not really sure why I decided to do that. I think it might have been like maybe I'm looking for someone who's pushing our medic aggressively on the low ground. I decided to just mix it up and go low. Honestly, I'm not sure why I did it. So on the ground, shooting up. I do see some stuff on the high ground, but I can't reach it. That's the problem with being on the low ground here. Onto the scout. I'm taking a lot of damage, even more damage from the high ground. Yeah, there's just not a good reason to go low ground there. I just feel like I didn't do anything on that middle. It was a really bad call. Okay, soldier jumps in from behind, get that frag there. And now it's a 3 versus 3, you can see on the scoreboard. So I'm telling my medic, I'm like, let's go back into middle. Like, let's go. 3 versus 3. There's no reason to give up mid. But my medic is super duper hurt, and he backed off. So he's like, you can see him right way back there. He's super hurt. He doesn't want to come back in, but I'm like, let's go. He's at 30 health. We see their medic, and I see they have Kritzkrieg. The second you see that they have Kritzkrieg, I know that we're gonna win. Even if we give up the middle point, it doesn't matter, because Uber beats crits every single time, and that's why you don't want to run Kritzkrieg, because Uber beats crits every single time. Invincibility beats 100% crits on something that's invulnerable, not going to work very well, right? So also you'll see that 2 soldiers are respawning for them. Doesn't really matter, not a big deal. The important part is that we want to group up together and play close to the choke points so that when their medic critses, we just crits right back into them and kill their medic with the Uber. That's the entire goal. Kill the medic with the Uber. That's what's going to keep your Uber advantage and your momentum going. So we're building that Uber to get that last little bit. We have the 100%. I don't know why I keep smacking myself. And then I tell my team, okay, as soon as we see the medic, let's Uber. We decide to go for a double scout Uber into middle, actually. We see the medic, so I'm like, use onto the medic. Med down, and now we just need to back off and keep our medic alive. I do see a demo man that's caught here, so I'm like, okay, get that kill. Soldier on the high ground. Ooh, nice frag. And then the cap. Oh, okay, so super, super good Uber, right? Like, you'll notice that we didn't wait for everybody to get there. We could have waited, right? We could have waited for my soldiers and demo men to ride before we did the Uber. I think that's what I would have done at a higher level. Like if I'm playing against invite players, I probably would have waited for all my teammates to get there. But at this level of Pug, we were able to just Uber in, catch the medic overextended. So once we get that, you'll notice that up on the top right of the screen, you'll see that 4 of their players are dead and all of their critical classes, right? Like the demo man and the medic. So you know there's no sticky traps, you know there's no healing for them, and they do have forward spawn, right? From the bottom of the screen, you'll see that they have forward respawn. So what you can do in this situation, it's really sneaky, is you can just like you can put some capture time on mid, but you just run to the forward spawn and sticky it up, and you can actually get some spawn camping kills by doing it this way. And we have a sniper too, so you can just snipe that forward spawning door and get some kills. And you'll see it's gonna work out really beautifully here. My team pushes up into yard, we get up to the door, and you'll see my demo man already has stickies on that spawn door. So super, super good play by him. And you'll see that when the medic and the demo stuff respawn, we're gonna get that kill. And the medic opens the door and he eats the trap and he's dead. So that's a really, really nice play that you can do that gives you an even more Uber advantage. So now we're just snowballing them, right? We're just like rolling them, and we decide, okay, now we got the mid cap. And I do make a mistake here. So you'll notice that like 4 or 5 of us are in the yard already. So we should probably just start capping 4th point. And that way we can take our Uber advantage and roll it into last. But the guy on middle who was capping, I think it was a scout, he said that there was a soldier on middle. So I made a call to go back and help him, but you'll notice that I waste a lot of time doing that. So in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done that. But you'll see that like I walk through the garage, I go back to try and help him, and the soldier, like you'll notice I can't even really kill him, you know? I just hit a lot of damage, so I don't really do anything, you know? There's no point in me doing that, so I regret doing that. Anyways, and you'll notice because I went back and because we made so much noise about that soldier, we didn't even capture the 4th point. So that soldier made a really high value play because he distracted like everybody and saved his team the 4th point. So now I'm like, okay, guys, let's just ignore him. Let's just get back into the point and capture it. Like, be aware that he's there, but let's not worry about it, right? So we're putting that cap time down, and don't forget we have full Uber advantage because their medic died, or not full Uber advantage, but we have Uber advantage, like very, very big Uber advantage. So I tell my medic, hey, we have Uber advantage. Let's do that same play from the last round. Let's go back outside through the Z. Then we'll go up, take the high ground, and then Uber into last. Very easy round. But my medic doesn't listen to me. And you're about to see him make a mistake here because he doesn't listen to me. He's going to like stay in the 2nd point, and then they're going to get sacked on and then killed. So my medic dies right here, which is like super regrettable because now our Uber advantage is gone. So now it's 5-on-5. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. Let's just go for a push. So I start seeing them, but there's like too many players here, so I can't do anything. So I just back off. And my thought process at this point is to say, okay, my entire team is dead. I have like 30 health. Like, what just happened to our play, right? The whole thing just fell apart. And if I just back up to middle, they're going to have Uber advantage pushing middle. They're going to be able to like roll and take multiple points. So as a last ditch effort, what you can do in these situations is go for a back cap. So that's what I'm going to go for. I get the health pack, and then I see all my team is dead. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and do something sneaky. I'm going to go for a back cap. And this play is like a low percentage play, honestly. It doesn't work a lot of the time. And my team tells me they have an engineer here. And yeah, he's covering the last point with a sentry gun. So there's no way I'm going to get that cap. So I just go for the medic and just suicide. And that's it. So yeah, just overall, the play just fell apart. But that's okay. So I'm going to fast forward again to another part of the round. My team, it's even Ubers here. They have slight number advantage. So they could go for a push. And I think we just need to stall middle in case they go for that push. If not, we get the respawners and then we'll go for a push. But we do get a pick on a scout. And they get our demo man. So both Ubers are traded. This is not that great. Both Ubers are traded, and we trade a scout. Like, we get their scout in exchange for our demo man, which is not a good trade because demo man is definitely more valuable than the scout. So the red team is trying to take the rest of their Uber and push into middle. So my job here is to get a buff and then try and win the team fight. You don't have to like really win the team fight. I think a lot of like newer players will make a mistake here where they over-aggress into this next team fight. But that's not your goal. Your goal is actually to stall the game because you have forward spawns. So your team is going to spawn faster and in better position. So you don't need to win the fight. You just need to stall for those spawners, and eventually you'll come up with a number advantage just on the basis of spawns alone. So the ball is in the red team's court. Like the red team has to make something happen. Otherwise, they're in trouble. So you don't really have to force the situation. You just need to like look for any overextenders and then do some damage if you can. So you'll see that's kind of why I'm kind of backing my medic up. And then I see that soldier is pretty overextended. I'm trying to help, but actually the demo man kind of catches me out and I died. So, right, that situation I just told you, like I don't need to force anything. I ended up trying to force something and then I got caught out. My team though is destroying them with those forward spawns and they get completely wiped here. So that's going to be really good for us. It's looking really good for us to close out the round because we have Uber advantage once again. So I'm just going to try and catch up to my team. We're already capping 4th point. And my team, I'm telling them like, hey, we have Uber advantage. So get ready for that Uber advantage push that we did before. And I'm like, hey guys, let's just get Uber.
They have a Putus.
We should walk around.
I'm just giving myself a 5-man sack here.
We should walk upstairs. Okay, one of the guys in chat was like, let's do a 5-man sack. And again, this is why it's so important to keep track of Uber advantages because I don't know if he was memeing because it was 4-0. But like, you don't want to do a 5-man sack when you have full Uber advantage. You just want to take the Uber in and win the game. So I'm telling my medic, hey, back up here. Let's get that Uber. Right, and that medic took an arrow to the face or whatever. Not to the face, but to the neck. He's down to 40 health. So this is exactly the reason why, for those of you medic mains out there, don't stand in the lobby on that second point. Don't stand there because you're just asking to get, sniped or forced or whatever. Like he could have died and he would have lost our Uber advantage. So that's why I highly recommend you stand outside in many of these situations to build that Uber. Once you've secured those choke points, right? So we walk our medic upstairs, we get him the health pack, 40% Uber advantage. And then again, same exact play as last time. Wait for the soldier. Yep. And pop the soldier first. And this is why it's so important to pop on the doors. You'll see there's a sticky trap on the doorway. I don't know if you can see it. It's like right there on the right side. You'll see that sticky trap. So that's why it's so important to pop on the doors. Don't risk anything. And you just go for whatever you can see. The demo man, I see him take a rocket, so I'm going to follow up on that demo man. And then from here, I'm super hurt, so I just need to stay alive. Onto the soldier. He thinks I'm healthy. I'm not. Sniper dead. There's a soldier behind me and then the heavy in front. And I just back off. And that's going to be the round. Nice. So we end the round with 28 kills, 9 deaths, 11 assists. Of course, there were some after round kills in there, but pretty solid game from us, I have to say.
Damn, bugs are lit right now.
And yeah, it was a really good time. So some of the lessons learned from that game, if I were to recap, on the mid fights, on any mid fight, on any 5CP map, but on Granary also very specifically, you take position, watch for those soldier bombs, and try and get those soldier bombs before they can kill your medic. And Granary, being a very small middle, is one where they're especially susceptible for soldiers to bomb and kill your medic. There's a lot of other mids out there that are like, I'm trying to think like Process as an example, where like it's much bigger and so it's harder for the soldier bombs to kill your medic. But on Granary and smaller mid fights specifically, you want to make sure you're watching for those soldiers that bomb your medic. Like Viaduct is an example, or Product is an example of a map that comes to mind where you really have to watch for those soldier bombs. Then making sure you're keeping track of Ubers and using those Uber advantages. When you're on the 4th point, make sure you hide your medic in a safe spot where he's not going to get forced. And that way you can get a very clean Uber into the last point. So from there, yeah, let me know if there's any other tips that you learned from watching this and put them in the comments down below. And let me know if you also like this style of video, and I'm happy to do more commentaries in the future of my own gameplay. That's going to wrap it up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and catch you guys next time. Peace.